Right. Lovely. Okay, I think we'll make a start. We might have people join us as we go on. Firstly, to say that I am recording this session, and we'll make sure that you have the opportunity to have the recording afterwards, or if you have colleagues or from your school or other schools who would have liked to have attended the session and are interested, we can make the recording available afterwards as well. So, okay, well, thank you very much for coming along this afternoon. It's great to see so many of you here, and we really appreciate you making the time. We're really excited about the careers hubs being introduced into central London, and to have the opportunity to begin to tell people about the introduction of the careers hubs. I've just got one message from somebody to say they have no sound. Can I just check everybody? Could you just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me?
Yep.
Thank you. So I'm sorry to the one person who can't. It's okay now.
Why didn't you let me know once he's had the meeting?
Okay, that's great. And if you could put your onto mute, that would be really.
I'm sorry, I have to go.
Great. I can see a hand up from Pauline. Is that? I just check everything's okay. Lovely. Okay. Thank you. So this is quite a short session. We've got about 45 minutes, and it's an opportunity for me to tell you about the careers hubs and the introduction into London and what this means for schools and colleges in the central London sub-region. So what I'm going to cover today is to explain what careers hubs are, what our ambitions are for careers hubs in London, how they're going to work in London, and really what the benefits are for schools and colleges to actually be part of a careers hub. Once I've sort of given a bit of an overview, I'll then go through the process of how you can put in an expression of interest in order to be one of the first schools and colleges to go in the first wave of the careers hubs. I'm also going to explain about what happens with London Enterprise Advisor Network going forwards and give you some key dates. And there will be a section at the end where you get the opportunity to ask questions, and the more questions the better. Or if you don't get a chance to ask them today, you can always come back to me or one of the team at any point. If you'd like to put questions in the chat, that would be great, and we can try and pick those up at the end as well. Okay, so let's start off with what careers hubs are. As we all know, COVID-19 has meant that the labour market has never been more complex for young people to navigate than before. We know that the London labour market has been hit harder than most areas in the UK, and that the impact of COVID-19 on the labour market has disproportionately affected young people as well. So London is joining part of a national network of careers hubs. Now, what a careers hub is, there are actually careers hubs up and down the country. They've been going since about 2017, started up by the Careers Enterprise Company. A careers hub is actually a cluster of schools and colleges in a geographic area, and it links those schools and colleges to businesses, to public sector partners, to education partners in the voluntary sector in their local area. And everybody works together within the Careers Hub in order to deliver really fantastic quality careers education and to ensure that young people are getting improved careers outcomes through the support that they're getting. It's also an opportunity to be innovative and to test and trial new ways of working, and then to take those ideas and disseminate that even wider beyond the Careers Hub, but to share experiences within the Careers Hub too. The Careers Hubs, we're in the fourth wave of the Careers Hubs coming through. So there've been a number since 2017 in different ways. And what we've seen is that actually they demonstrate that they are actually improving the quality of careers education being delivered within the setting. And the government's white paper that was launched earlier in this year endorsed the rollout of the careers hubs nationally. And we're now in the very fortunate position, we feel, of being able to have the introduction of careers hubs in London. Here's just a little bit of data just to back up what I was just talking about, which is that you can see there on the left-hand side that we've got the national picture. So this is schools and colleges across the country, those outside and within the careers hub. So what's happening on the national picture is that schools and colleges in general are achieving 3.7 Gatsby benchmarks each. But what we can also see is that schools that joined in wave 1 of the careers hubs are now achieving 4.7 Gatsby, an average of 4.7 Gatsby benchmarks each. And for wave 2 and 3, they're beginning to catch up with wave 1. And combined, the careers hubs are achieving more than the national average at 4.2. And what this signifies is that the quality of careers education and the delivery of that to students within those schools within the careers hub is definitely improving. And of course, ultimately, that means that young people are getting better careers education, and it's leading to positive outcomes for them. So we're really seeing this as an opportunity for us to get on board and to join the careers hubs that are working really well across the country. So what a career hub provides is an enhanced delivery model. So what we currently have in the London Enterprise Advisor Network with your enterprise coordinator, with your enterprise advisor, the CPD and training that you get, the range of resources, that still is maintained, but actually you get an enhanced version. So if you're a school or college within the Careers Hub, there's access to greater support. There's strong local leadership, so there'll be a strategic lead within each Careers Hub who will make sure that the Careers Hub is embedded in what's happening locally, that it's responding to the local labour market, to the local economy, to the businesses that are in that local area, and just the local infrastructure to make sure it's fully embedded with local stakeholders. Enterprise coordinators will have more time dedicated to each school and college. The way this will work is currently enterprise coordinators within the London Enterprise Advisor Network, they support about 20-25 schools each. For the enterprise coordinators that are supporting schools in the Careers Hub, they'll have probably about 15 schools, which means that they will have more time to support each individual school or college. There's also access to funded activities through being part of a Careers Hub. So there's Careers Hub funding that can be used in innovative ways. It can support careers activities. It can support doing piloting. And for example, last year there was some pilots that happened in Careers Hubs around the country, which focused on specific needs, particularly in response to COVID-19. So looking at support for transition years of year 11 and 13, or early access to digital platforms. The other thing that's quite unique about the Careers Hub is that they're attached to a cornerstone employer. This tends to be quite a large employer, but what they do is they commit to providing support to the schools and colleges within a Careers Hub. And this can be a full range of different ways that they will support, but there's this really sort of unique relationship that you get. So it's very dedicated support that you get from a cornerstone employer. And our ambitions for Careers Hubs in London, essentially, we want every young person growing up in the city to have access to excellent careers education so that they've got the chance for a great start in life and a successful future. And we see Careers Hubs as being the opportunity to make this happen and to ensure that London is one of the best places in the country for careers education. And our ambition is to create a world-class careers education system nationally, but also in London. And we're going to do this by increasing the support for schools and colleges. We're going to make sure that London is aligned with the rest of the country. Currently, we had an enterprise advisor network later in London than other parts of the country. And there has been a little bit of a lag, which over the last couple of years, the Enterprise Advisor Network has done a really great job at progressing schools and colleges, and we have definitely made some really good progression, but there's more to do, and really we see being part of the Careers Hub network is going to support us to do that with speed. It's also about increasing the coordination of careers provision locally as well, so at that sub-regional level, and also nationally, so what we do nationally with the other careers hubs. The result of this will be that every young person gets the information, the skills and the experience that they need to make informed decisions about their future. So how it's going to work in London is there's going to be 4 careers hubs. There'll be one per sub-region. The one we're talking about today is for the central London sub-region, which is the 11 boroughs, which if you've got really good eyesight or a pair of binoculars on you, you'll be able to see which boroughs those are, but they're the ones in red in the middle there. So hopefully everybody here today knows that they're in a central one. If you're not, that's fine actually, because the information we're giving out at these sessions is quite similar, but we're focusing very much today on the central London sub-region, which will have its own careers hub. We will align the hub with what's happening at borough level, what's happening at sub-regional level, London and the national priorities. So thinking about the local infrastructure right down to the borough level, but also what's happening sub-regionally. And for central London, that means what's the strategy for central London forward? How are we supporting that? How are we meeting the priorities of our boroughs? Now, each hub will have a focus on supporting, and I've written as SMEs there, but that's small and medium enterprises, which is that we acknowledge that actually, although we do have some really large employers in central London and across London as a whole, actually the backbone of our economy is the small and medium-sized businesses. And that's perhaps where we haven't necessarily tapped into the support that we could be doing with them so far. It's an opportunity to think about those businesses that are supporting some of the larger organisations by providing quite unique services, possibly, for example, in the creative industries, where you may have sound or photography, different industries which are really quite small, but actually are really helping to support and bolster the larger organisations. So we really want to tap into that and show young people the opportunities that are there, both in the large organisations, but also in the small, medium enterprises, or even setting up your own businesses. So this is a real opportunity to do this. And each hub will be working really closely with the local economy, the local businesses, to get them on board, to skill them, to prepare them for having young people to engage with them, to be providing working site visits, work experience, coming into school, doing activities with students. So that's really at the heart of what we're going to be doing with the Careers Hub. And they'll be providing, there's funding available to support those careers activities, which is specific for the Careers Hub. So a central Careers Hub fund, which will support the delivery of Gatsby Benchmark 5 and 6 activities with small and medium enterprises. Alongside that, there's an additional dedicated support for SMEs to get them ready and prepared for supporting young people with SEND, so that we can ensure that young people with SEND are getting as much opportunity as possible to engage with businesses, and that the businesses are prepared for that. Just going to have a quick look at the structure. So this is the London Careers Hub model. And we're talking about central London today. So the ones in orange, that's the ones which is really the most significant for us. The Careers Hub, we are going to be moving schools and colleges over into a Careers Hub, over the next 3 years. So we're starting in September 21 with our first wave. And in year 1, we have the capacity to move 80 schools from the London Enterprise Advisor Network into the Careers Hub. But then over the next 2 years after that, gradually we will be moving all schools and colleges into the Careers Hub, so that by the end of year 3, all the schools and colleges in the network will now be part of a hub. The support that schools currently receive for the London Enterprise Advisor Network will continue. So if you're a school or college that doesn't go into the hub in the first year, you still have the support of the London Enterprise Advisor Network, which means you still have an enterprise coordinator and an enterprise advisor. You have access to all the training that you've had so far and all the resources. on this point, year 3 is when we anticipate having schools and colleges that are now in a careers cluster to come and join the Careers Hub. The reason for that is there's 2 reasons. Both the Careers Hub and the Careers Cluster are funded through ESF, but they're both delivering quite similar support to schools and colleges. So when the Careers Cluster funding comes to an end and that programme ends, what will happen is your schools and colleges will smoothly transition over into the Careers Hub. But it's also really important, I think, to say that you will still continue to have the support of your enterprise coordinator and your enterprise advisor and all the support you're used to being part of the London Enterprise Advisor Network. So the benefits of joining the hub are, the first thing is you get much more dedicated support because the enterprise coordinator supporting schools and colleges within a hub will have more time to be able to dedicate to careers leaders working in those schools and colleges. The other thing that we will have through the hub is that there will be appointed a strategic lead who will be engaging with boroughs, borough stakeholders, thinking sub-regionally, thinking about the businesses in that area. So very much a localised perspective, and also bringing the learning from what's happening nationally as well. There will be better links to businesses and the cornerstone employers that I mentioned. Access to national resources, funding and pilots. Being part of a Careers Hub means that there's central Careers Hub funding that we're able to access, and it's an opportunity to just try things out a little bit differently. There's access to delivery of careers activities and work insight days. And as I mentioned previously, we will be working with businesses in order to make sure that they're really well equipped for providing that kind of interaction and support to young people. And the other thing, of course, it's an ability to shape, influence what's happening in London and the national careers policy by trying out new things, saying what's working well, saying what we could do with more. So that's a bit of an overview as to what Careers Hub is, and I appreciate I ran through that at whistle-stop speed. I will send slides out afterwards, and there is an opportunity to ask me questions at the end. Next, we're going to have a look at how to express your interest to join the Careers Hub in September 21. So as I mentioned, we have capacity to take 80 schools and colleges from across the central sub-region to be part of the Careers Hub in year 1, but in future years, everybody else will follow. What we will be seeking is a really good mix of schools and colleges from across the whole sub-region. So we'll be looking geographically to make sure we've got a good mix from across all the boroughs, but we'll also be thinking about making sure we have a good mix of mainstream secondary schools, FE colleges, alternative provision, and also send special schools as well. So for part of the process of getting the schools and colleges together for September, we will be seeking schools and colleges that are already engaging with Lean, that are already getting a lot of support from their enterprise coordinator and enterprise advisor and interacting and working really well and very enthusiastic. And we'll be looking for where there's clearly a lot of activity taking place already, or certainly an enthusiasm to get involved more. What it doesn't need to be is a school or college that's particularly high performing against the Gatsby benchmarks, because actually this is an opportunity to take that enthusiasm that you might have within your school to actually to use the benefits that the Careers Hub provides in order to progress and develop your careers programme. So yeah. So as part of that, there will be some expectations on schools and colleges that come into the hub, but hopefully this will all make sense in that what we are seeking is schools and colleges that will work closely with the hub lead, with the enterprise coordinator and with your enterprise advisors in order to accept and take all the support we can offer in order to help you develop your careers programme. We'll also be asking you to work collaboratively with other schools and colleges in the Careers Hub and to develop and then to share the best practice across the whole network. We will ask schools and colleges to complete a compass report on a termly basis, so just once a term, but this will be a really good opportunity to audit what's happening in the school for your records, but also for our records, and to be able to track the progress that the Careers Hub is making as well. And we do ask that you ensure that there's a careers leader in place at the school or college throughout the participation of being part of the Careers Hub. And with that, there's accountability from the senior leadership team at the school as well. And also, finally, to support the Careers Hub's efforts to champion the importance of careers education, information, advice and guidance in your sub-region. So that's about being willing and supporting us to spread the word, to share the best practice. To make your expression of interest, this is just purely for the first wave, so for September. We've got a really simple process that we're asking you to follow. So it's just a simple form. It's just a 2-page form. And the way to do it is, if you're interested, which I really hope you are, to contact your enterprise coordinator and have a chat with them. They will show you the form. It's very simple. They will help you fill it in, and then if you can send that back to your enterprise coordinator by the 18th of June. So what we will do, we will then bring together all the expressions of interest we've got, and what we will be seeking is to make sure we get that really good spread across the whole sub-region and the mix of schools and colleges that will be part of that. A special note for colleges: if you're part of a college group and you've got sites which happen to fall into other sub-regions, then please put in an expression of interest for each sub-region that you have a college site in. Here's the simple form. I'm going to try and zoom in. This may or may not work. I don't know if that's working, but it's 2 pages, and on the first page, there's just one simple question, which is around how being part of the Careers Hub will support the priorities of your school. Then on the second page, going back to those commitments that we're asking of schools and colleges that are involved, it's basically ticking to say, yes, we commit, we confirm that we're happy to do all those things that we've asked from you. And then finally, we ask for the careers leader name and the head teacher or SLT name, just to show that you've had that conversation, that they're on board as well. And one of the things I really wanted to emphasise today is we're really, really excited about the fact that we've got the Careers Hubs coming into London. We've been waiting for this. It's a fantastic opportunity. It's got lots of benefits for schools and colleges, but the lean continues, and schools and colleges that don't go into the Careers Hub in September, you will still continue to get the same level of support from your enterprise coordinator and your enterprise advisor, and all the training and the resources that are currently available. That will continue. And then we will work with you over the next year to get your Career Hub ready, so that we've then taken a second wave at the end of next year, and then finally the third wave in 2023. So just to recap on those key dates, the 18th of June, that's when the expressions of interest closes. So please get in your expressions of interest as soon as you can. In early July, we will notify schools and colleges of the outcome and whether or not you'll be joining the Careers Hub in September, or if it will be later on. But either way, you still get the support of the network. And then in early September, the Careers Hubs start, and that's when we'll be coming back out to you to ask to sign the memorandums of understanding and to talk about what the next steps are. So that's me. So I'm ready to take questions. I'll just have a look in the chat and see if we have any.
We have one from Vanessa, who's asked, Westminster Careers Cluster offer a lot of this kind of support. I'm sensing overlap. How are you ensuring you're not doubling up on what might already be on offer? I think you might have covered that when you mentioned about careers clusters.
Yeah, so we'll be working alongside careers clusters, and when the careers cluster comes to its end, then you will naturally move over into the careers.
So sorry, Westminster Council.
Thanks, Vanessa. I hope that's answered the question. Do we have any other questions? Silence. Please do take the opportunity to ask me questions. I'm very happy to answer wherever I can, and if I can't, I will take the question away. There's no such thing as a silly question either. Oh, Sandy. Hi, Sandy. Do you have a question? Just check people on mute.
It's me. Sorry, I've been on long time. Been such a long time on mute. I said, sorry, I am going to ask a silly question. So you mentioned that we can, these clusters will be happening in waves, and we can express our interests at different times. But then if I express my interest now, or say I don't have the time or anything like that, I'm still going to get the same level of support. So as much as it's interesting, I'm wondering what's in it for me if I join early, because I'm still going to get the level of support anyway.
Yeah. So you get additional support if you're part of the Careers Hub. So if you don't go into the Careers Hub in September, the level of support that you've been receiving so far from your enterprise coordinator and enterprise advisor and through the network continues. If you go into the Careers Hub in September, there will be additional support. So you'll get more dedicated time from your enterprise coordinator, access to more funded activities, more strategic support at the local level, opportunities to work with other schools and colleges on pilots. So there are definite added benefits to being part of the Careers Hub. But what we're saying is that the experience that you've had so far, if you're not part of the Careers Hub now, that will continue. It's just the additional benefits that you get of being part of the hub.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Please feel free to either put your hand up or put the question in the chat if you prefer.
I can see a hand from Wendy, so I'm going to assume that's a question.
Oh, thank you, Wendy. Hi.
You might need to unmute yourself, Wendy.
Oh, sorry, Wendy, we can't hear you. I think you've got your mute on.
Is that better?
Yes.
Perfect.
Lovely. Thank you. Sorry about that. An obvious question, possibly. You mentioned earlier on about links with employers, whether they're large employers or the small to medium ones in London. And as I mentioned to you at the very beginning, Joanna, our school is situated in East Sussex, but maintained by the London Borough Tower Hamlets, which is where the majority of our students live. So I'm sort of just thinking about communication. So when those opportunities come up to work with employers, would that come through our coordinators and our advisors?
Yes, so your enterprise coordinator and enterprise advisors can work with you and connect you with the businesses that can best support you. And obviously now we're working virtually, that obviously supports that interaction with students as well.
Sure. Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you.
I can just add, I wonder if you are based in, if the actual site is based in Sussex, whether it's worth linking you with the Sussex hub as well.
I did that last week, actually. The slight sort of fly in the ointment, and they have been very good, but they are really only working with schools that are maintained by East Sussex. But we do have about 10, perhaps less than that, East Sussex day boys. So obviously we must make sure that they are catered for. So they've actually linked us in with a work experience area and one or two other bits. So we're in a way going to be in 2 hubs. Won't necessarily need 2 coordinators, but we will be possibly in 2 hubs.
Great. I can see another hand up, but unfortunately I can't see your name. So if you'd like to unmute yourself, I'm sorry, I can't see a name. Feel free to shout out. Feel free to put questions in the chat if there's anything I can answer. Okay, I'm going to leave it for a few more minutes just to give you a chance. You might be thinking of something but not quite sure whether to ask it. Please do, because somebody else might also be thinking the same thing. Great. Well, there will be an opportunity. You can always come back to me. Hopefully, I mean, you've all got my email address. You're welcome to come back to me afterwards by email or to any of your enterprise coordinators. And we will send the slides out afterwards so you can have a proper look at those too. And feel free to share the slides as well with colleagues and the recording. Well, I'm going to hang on here for a little bit longer. So if anybody wants to stay behind and ask questions, you're very, very welcome to do so.
Thank you very much, Joanne. It was very helpful.
Thank you. Thanks for your time. Really appreciate you taking time out this afternoon for us.
You're welcome.
And please get in touch with your enterprise coordinators about the expression of interest form. We look forward to seeing schools and colleges within the Careers Hub. We're very excited about the opportunity.
Hi, Joanna. It's Maria.
Hi, Maria. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well, thank you. How are you? All is good?
Yeah, all good. Apart from a nasty cold today, but apart from that,
Oh, bless you.
the voice held out. That was good.
Yeah, no, it really did. I just wanted to check. I'm not sure if you're the right person. I attended the West London briefing on Tuesday, and I've not received the slides yet or the recording. Have I missed it yet, or has it been sent and I've not seen it, or hasn't it been sent out yet?
I'll check with Claire.
Because I've just
That's
emailed
really
her, yeah,
good.
but I've not, because I know it's slightly different from Central to West. So yeah, I just wanted to send that over to some of my career leads already, but I just haven't received it yet.
That's great, and thank you. Really appreciate you doing that. I'll double check with Claire and see what when those are going out. But I suspect she's probably sending them out after today because she's doing South London today. So
sure. Yeah, of course. Makes sense. Okay,
yeah.
okay. Thank you.
Cheers then.
Thanks.